Hi, I'm Rebecca Carner, Biofield tuner. Today is 2/4/24. It's February 4th, 2024. And because of the cadence of the numbers, I thought today was a perfect day to make a video that has been really wanting to come through for a while now, which is to tune into the difference between consistency and constancy. But before we get started, I have two things that I'd like to say. Number one, if you happen to be seeing this video right when it's airing, this information will always, I think, be pertinent. But if you happen to be seeing this in early February 2024, I have two Zoom community tune opportunities coming up. They are open to the public. You go to my website, rebeccacarner.com, and you sign up for a link, and you can be a part of a group collective tuning that we do online, and I would love to invite you. The next one is Tuesday, February 13th, and then I think the one in March is maybe the 12th, if I'm not mistaken, maybe the 19th, can't quite remember. Anyway, also, for the people who have been seeing my videos, who have either written in or have seen me in person and said that these videos were meaningful to them and helpful, thank you. Everybody who watches my videos, thank you. Please subscribe, please share. All of this work is open source and so precious to my heart. And if tuning makes sense to you and feels right to you, and this is helping, yay, that's why I'm here. Yay. Anyway, so thanks for the positive feedback and thanks for watching my videos. All right, so now to consistency versus constancy. There are so many talking points on this. I'm going to speak into it a little bit. We will get into sound. I will do a tuning. I'm going to try not to get lost in my sauce. I've made a couple of notes here so that I can keep track. When I was thinking about this video in particular this morning, when I kind of got the prompting by the cosmos, yeah, Rebecca, today's the day. Go ahead and do it today. 2/4/24, what you do every day. Here we go. It was showing me us all sort of getting through this life experience in these funny little clown car looking things, like these little individual vehicles. We have these different vehicles that carry different things, vehicles for emotion, vehicles for food, vehicles for expression and emotion. And so I was seeing that consistency, whatever we do consistently, whatever it is, that literally, like quarter panels, they were showing me like clicking onto the side of like these little vehicles that truck us through our lives. Consistency is what makes whatever vehicle you're navigating life in, whatever that Merkaba is, whatever that cosmonaut spacecraft that you're cruising through the galaxy in, that is built by what you do consistently. That's it. On my website, you can sign up for some best practices of how to strengthen your biofield, and in the sort of advanced practices, it's there are a couple of I think the final two are really around being aware, building a lot of awareness, and taking a lot of responsibility and preciousness around what you do in your life. And there are a myriad of reasons why that is so important, but this whole thing around consistency and that builds your life vehicle, that sentiment is kind of baked into those practices on my website. In the land, so my clients who work with me know that I have a little saying, like, it's actually, you can't make this ish up, but you can't make this step up. So here it is. It's a Sunday that I'm filming this, which isn't a typical film day for me. And I went to my Sunday morning yoga class, which I can't always make that class. And it is a teacher who I deeply, deeply love and respect. And I have heard this Dharma piece from her many times. In fact, over the years that I have been practicing with her, I've heard her read this quote so many times that I really associate it with her in a most beautiful way, most beautiful way. Shout out to Tracy James. It is a quote by William Butler Yeats. And I'm just going to read it, and then I'm going to get back into the consistency material. Life is a journey up a spiral staircase. As we grow older, we cover the ground we have covered before, only higher up. As we look down at the winding stair below us, we measure our progress by the number of places where we were but no longer are. The journey is both repetitious and progressive. We go both round and upward. Okay, so first let's talk about constancy. We would love our amygdalas, our brains that want us to survive, would love if everything were constant. I'm constantly safe. I'm constantly sated. I'm not hungry. I'm not scared. I'm not threatened. I'm not tired. I'd love to constantly be peppy, right? Constancy. Yeah, that sounds awesome. It isn't possible. Constancy isn't really a thing. Not only is constancy not a thing for very long, the constancy of our little tricks also aren't even a thing. Like every time I go to yoga, I don't rock out of there having my namaste post-yoga glow. A lot of the times that's what's happened, but sometimes I'm in whatever I'm in my life journey, and I go to yoga because that is one of Rebecca's own consistencies. But even at that, there is no constancy in the moment of the effect of my yoga practice. Now, I often, and I would say mostly, feel better, but it is not constantly that I feel awesome after yoga, but through that consistency with my yoga practice as an overarching truth, yoga has become then a bit of a constant in my life that I lean on heavily through all things, the good and the more taxing and challenging. But that was built through consistency. And one of the notes that I wrote here is consistency is a thing that you do a lot. Okay, it's not just like I just described with the yoga. It's not the thing that you do a lot that always reaps X result or always shifts me into Y state of mind. That's not it. It's just the thing that you return to. Now, we have many consistencies in our life. Many. Behavioral, thought, distraction, entertainment. There are many relationships and or relational dynamics that we express out through different relationships, but the dynamic is consistent through time for us. Now, that what we do consistently isn't always beneficial. It's just a thing that we return to a lot. It's up to you to build self-awareness and true discernment as to whether what you do on the regular benefits you or actually kind of slows your roll or gums up the works, or maybe even just flat out isn't beneficial at all, hurts you. We can, for many reasons, I really recommend the work of Dr. Gabor Mate. There are a lot of reasons. Don't beat yourself up. There are a lot of very tender, very logical, and very reasonable reasons that you would do things on the regular that hurt you. So if you are one of those people and you're kind of listening to this and thinking, okay, well, what is it that I do? Okay, well, you know, I do this regularly, and I have a yoga prayer, I have a meditation practice or whatever, and I also drink, and I also hit the sugar hard, or, you know, I do this, or I do that, or I rely really heavily on X, Y, and Z, that I know isn't a good thing for me, not a good thing. Like I hit the French fries hard when I get upset. Like I do that consistently. Okay, that's fine. It's not to judge. It's just to realize that that's one of the quarter panels that's going on your little car, and that at any point, if you want to sort of edit or strike that sort of little consistent thing that you do and add in something different, and just know that at the beginning, at building the pathway of doing a new thing consistently, it's gonna take a little bit of effort, right? One of the things that is so seductive about constancy is that it doesn't take any effort. Man, if you know something's gonna be something every day of the week, it's so reliable. There's no, ooh, what if maybe, because you just know it's gonna be that way, like do. And that's just not the way life goes. You know, there's only what doesn't change is death and taxes or something like that. Like everything changes. So it's up to you to build your consistencies. I'm really gonna drop into sound. The last thing, I don't want to put this at the very end, but when I was really thinking about this morning, because this video has been coming for a while, I've thought a lot about it and talked a lot about it, and sort of been noticing both in myself and in others around me and in some of my clients and stuff, how does this theme, how do we live into this? Because I really wanted the video to make sense and be something that people could sink their teeth into and be really practical. It is my heartfelt belief that upcoming in the remainder of 2024 and beyond, it's going to be very useful, if not critical, that people have a little self-referent, see my live video from a couple of weeks ago about grounding into our self-referent point, but that we all have a couple of things that are anchored and doable by us and us alone in a vacuum, that we can rely on, that we have a little toolkit that at any time, anywhere, and under any unforeseeable or inexplicable circumstances, that we can rely upon and sort of draw out, you know, pull our little ace up our sleeve, okay? At least one, but if you can have 1 to 3, 1 to 3 ways that you can just be. Not listening to music, not on a podcast, not watching some sort of video, not calling a friend. No, just in the silo of self, one way that no matter what, if you're alone or if you're in an evacuation station with 10,000 other people around you, what is one way that you can just be with yourself? If that's hum lightly, if that's focus on your breath, if it's close your eyes and center yourself. For me, being a mom of 3 boys, it's taken me about 2 years, 2+ years to learn how to just sit with my hands on my knees and just sit and feel myself sitting and be okay with that and be still. And if you can return to that practice and start to build a practice, and if you can come up to 1 to 3 ways where you can just be with self, I think that's going to be a really useful tool. The other thing, my sort of other homework, should you choose to accept it, is make a list of 1, if not 1 to 3 things that from you and just of you that you can do, that sort of creative or expansive or kind of free form. Again, not call a friend, like don't make it reliant on any external to you circumstances. So again, I can always think and make notes and journal. I can always come up with new video concepts and think about different frequencies and what I'm going to do. If it's, I can always practice my guitar or plink out on the piano. And even if you're then away from those instruments and caught in some situation, you can still sort of, work the fingering out on the table in front of you or on your arm or whatever. You can, if your thing is food, you can always sort of meal prep, think about different combinations of food. And then if you find yourself alone, rather than distracting out, rather than numbing out, rather than trying to find some way to pull you out of, it's like, what is something that you can go into that's creative? So make it list at least one thing in your toolkit where you can be, and one thing where you can do. And it's really make something from scratch, not reach out, not watch a television show, but yeah, it's something expansive. Oh yeah, that's not a video game. Again, I think, I kind of want to put the charge like that it's not plugged in, like there's nothing electric required, except some people do write on their phone or do video or online journaling. So that's a little bit different, but you're not getting information, it's you're inputting into an electronic device. Okay, that's great. That works. But the sort of charge, the operative function is that you are doing something that you have to think about that comes to and through you. It's not something that you're receiving either from another person or from a media input source. So those are my sort of top tips and, I don't know, call to humanity such that I've been prompted to do. So now I'd like to tune in with the forks, and around this consistency, like when I was really feeling into it, it's like tuning into what are our blocks to doing things consistently. Like, why when I just think that concept, does it feel like oh, I don't want to do that, ugh. Because in the end, we all have our go-tos. So it's like, why not? Okay, let's everybody shake out. And whether you realize it or not, you're on some sort of return, repeat, rinse, what is it? Wash, rinse, repeat. You're on some sort of carousel. You're probably on several. Excuse me. Whereas the minute I say something consistent, Everybody comes up and bumps up into all their inner shoulds. Yeah, well, I should be doing a better job at X, Y, and Z. Okay, drop it, you guys, drop it. Yeah, well, okay, whatever. Maybe we all could and should be the Dalai Lama, except we aren't. So here we all are being us, which is awesome. I'm proud. I'm happy to be me. I'm happy to be here. Happy that you're here. Like, yes, yay, we're us. Woo, woo. And if you arrived alive into the watching of this video, then you have been doing things consistently. So, and before your inner critic starts shooting all over you, let's just realize that it's already there. There we go. That's right. You were far more of a badass than you gave yourself credit for right at the beginning of all this. So let's tune into knowing ourselves, noticing what we do consistently. The good, the bad, the indifferent, the silly, the wasteful, the beneficial, the progressive. And if you'd like to refine any of those consistencies as you notice them, you totally get to. Oh my God, that was like a tingle. Woo, I'm going to put this, woo. There's a concept there. If you would like to refine anything once you notice it, we can do that. Like, wow, that is like tingly. Wee. Okay, so. Oh my God, the sweetness. Yes, it really is just that light. It really is just that light and easy and awesome. Nice big breath. I mean, truly. I'm going to speak to a really amazing conversation that I was asked to be a part of recently. And I realized in the course of the conversation, all right, so somebody who I've known for many years asked for my time because she was doing a course, and part of their homework was to speak to somebody who you've known, who you think has done something that, whatever, that you think has had success in a way that you're aspiring to, and ask them, you know, how'd you pull that off? And she chose me, and so she asked me, she was asking me about my life and how I had conducted my life, and then how that fed into this tuning practice of mine to get it to the place where it is today. And it was really in that conversation that the theme, yet again, of consistency has come up. Like, this video has been wanting to come through for over a month for me. And that conversation was some weeks ago, and it came up again. There's kind of a forlorn. And in talking to her, because I've been at this energy practice not making these videos, but I've had my practice open for coming up on 9 years. And there were times in the early days of my practice where I was with my life and my parenting and a lot of the circumstances that I was living in when I had both real and perceived limitations. And in those limitations, at the time, I felt like they were holding me back. She's like, you know, what did you train in this? And did you do this? And, you know, did you do entrepreneurial classes and stuff? And it's like, I couldn't. I was a single mom with 3 kids. I didn't have the resources in any way, time, money, anything. I didn't have the resources to overtrain or to get a bunch of data. I mean, a lot of it I just had to do and figure out along the way. But in so doing, the things that were available to me, my yoga practice and a few other things, I wound up, because of my limitations, I had to keep doing what was available to me because that's all I could do. And it wound up building this profound bedrock of consistency that I wasn't really intentionally doing at the time. But now I'm reaping the benefit of it. That's right. That made sense to some people. Okay, yeah. If you're pretty sure that you're doing what's right for you and you're doing beneficial and healthy and good things, even if it's little, like, well, I can't go to the gym every day because I can't afford a membership, or, you know, blah, 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 blah. You know what? Stretch out on the floor every day or 3 times a week. Also, there are many things that a daily practice is awesome sauce, truly. Daily practices of good things can't be beat. And if you do something awesome for you 2 or 3 times or 4 times a week, go long. Man, great. That counts. If you do them 2 to 3 times a week, every week, week upon week, and then you miss a week, oh, but then you come on back and then you, yep. That's what I mean by consistency. I did not say perfection, didn't say perfect. What the hell is perfect anyway? Man, who knows? Who knows? Being imperfectly consistent is perfection. That's the 2024 definition. That's right. That's right. Oh my God, this feels so much better. Y'all, these things, that's right. They are accessible. They are easy. Right effort. Good things. I hate the whole good, bad, It's such a slippery word and it tends to get gummy and yuckety. However, whatever, beneficial, supportive, holistically reasonable things that get accrued regularly but intermittently over time, that equals consistency. Boom. 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 That's it. That's how you do it. That's it. That's right. It's so human. It's not superhuman. It's not superhero. It's just human, and it accrues. And that's how you get your new quarter panel. You get kind of a shinier, less dented up quarter panel for your little vehicle that you ride through this crazy, crazy life experience we're getting. Wow. It's a trip. All right, there were so many talking points. This wound up being a far longer video than I have been doing lately, but it is so delicious. It is an honor to be here. I'm going to drop this in and ground this down with a couple of frequencies, and then I'm gonna read that Yeats quote again. I can build consistency easily and humanly. I can build consistency in my life in supportive and holistically beautiful and healthy ways. Even when the things that I return to don't feel great or super effective on any given day, that still counts towards consistency. And I know that that's a win. And I give myself credit for that beautiful effort, even when it doesn't feel awesome. It's still another tiddlywink in the basket, right? So. There we go. Nice. All right. Life is a journey up a spiral staircase. As we grow older, we cover the ground we have covered before, only higher up. As we look down the winding stair below us, we measure our progress by the number of places we were, but no longer are. The journey is both repetitious and progressive. We go both round and upward. Happy 2/4/24. Until the next, thanks for being here.